Hey everyone, welcome back. This is going to be a quick reclip, but my upload's meant to be tomorrow, which is the 1st. This is the 31st. Planned these two parcels, which are behind me that I've just brought in now. They were meant to be here a week earlier so that I was able to unbox them, build them, which takes about 5 hours, and review them and have fun, and it's all to do with this printer here. I do apologise in advance, I will be putting a post up, but yeah, these two parcels have came today. And I can't wait to show you. I've still got this box here, which isn't exactly being made. It's going along with this video anyway. All the tools are out here because this box has been opened and I have built it up. So carrying on from that last clip there, I did try to video myself while building it, but I did get a bit irritated with some of the parts and it did take a bit longer, and with videoing it and trying to get different angles it would have just took ages. So that's it literally there. All of that is emptied and all the parts are done, but I will say it was the most simplest instruction manual I've ever had. A few of the screws on this have actually been riveted to the point where I can't actually undo them again, so the top part is wrong and I just need to rotate it, but I will figure out a plan for that later on. I did do my last print with the setup as it is just now, and it's currently a light box for my Instagram videos. I'm just waiting for that to kind of settle itself and be off the plate itself. That's why that's not got one, but I am going to be changing all this eventually because we have got this TopCube box, and I do have a USB here which plugs into a light just under here, which I think is cool. It's got a wee screen, but I'm going to show you all that when it's in, but that's the bulk product, and obviously you can put your hands in underneath this, so that makes it easier for putting the mini on. I'm going to start by taking this printer off and then doing the whole lubrication for the Y, Z and X axis. This is the last you're going to see this setup here, which is what I've currently been running. The AMS is up on the wall, and I did video myself trying to put it up on the wall and 3D printing a bracket for it. That video was actually meant to get uploaded next week as like a bonus video. I am deciding against that because I'm going to keep this video for that, so I am just going to turn everything off, lubricate everything so it's all up to date, take this off, and then I'm going to try and see if my cube thing fits in here, and from there we'll get going. But I do want to say, setting that up was an absolute breeze. One of the best setups I've done. So yeah, I'm going to get to the next part, which might be in a few days because I'm not rushing this process. So yeah, this will be gone, AMS gone, hopefully sitting on top of the cube, and the cube will be in its place. But for then, I'm going to get a few things behind the scenes done, and then we'll get going. The AMS out. Right, now to try and put the cube in and see what it's like. Right, this next part is just a test fit in plus to see what the lights look like, and then I'll pick up in the morning because it's currently 1:30 at night. So it's not fully in because I've still got to move the accessories and everything, because right now it's just touching, whereas I'd like this to be over a bit. But I've got that working. The AMS might just need to sit on top, that's not a problem. But time to turn this light off. And then, using this switch here, there's an LED bar inside, so let's see what that looks like. 3, 2, 1, boom. Wow. That looks way better. This is what I meant, so this wee notch here is meant to be at this side, and this wee like taper thing here is meant to be at this side, so this whole thing's maybe turned around, but I can't do that, so I might just take this off and leave it. But so far so good. And then there's a spool holder, but I will get to all that in the morning. So this is just a wee test fit to show. I will pick this up in the morning. It's currently 1:30 at night. And then down here is my AMS and my printer that I need to get set up. I managed to fit the cube in. I've done it last night. I put the AMS on top, but I am needing to buy myself an AMS light extension cable because it just so happens that I've had to turn the base around to use it. I'm still needing to go through a lot of things, so this is not the end. Managed to fit it in just perfectly, but I've had to move obviously the super glue and the Dremel stuff up there just because it just fits but not by much. So I might need to work out with where to put them, but this is where I am at the moment. So I've got the one in at the moment, which there's no other ones there, and I've got these just going down ever so slightly into these, but these PATFE tubes here are quite a challenge, so I'll just show you in here. They are quite a challenge to work out properly because I've obviously needed to get I've got the power cable going around here this time, and I've got these, but these seem to just be alright. But don't think I'm going to be able to print stuff at the max height, because the max height is only giving you about an inch from here. But there's been a few struggles with the PTFE tubes getting from here to here and along and up here. So my first problem isn't to do with the cube technically, but the problem that I've got is with the AMS light, the wire here is very tight, and that literally is there. I've had to move the AMS around so that it's on the stand backwards, which doesn't work, so I put one screw in it just to hold it, but this is very tight here, and it's going all the way down into this grommet and going into the printer, but it's literally stretched to the max. So if I buy another extension lead, which I've got one on Amazon coming tomorrow, I can then move this AMS a bit more, because the PTFE tubes are fine, I can work my way around them. But my plan is to have the AMS facing forward to me instead of sideways. But I need to have the extension to be able to do that. But trying to put the back two spools on was a right mess, and I actually half tipped all my glue off and all my stuff in the IKEA SCADAs, is that what they're called? My plan is wait till tomorrow, get the extension thing, and then try it out. I'm not going to lie to you, as soon as I opened that there, I instantly just smelled all the burning plastic and the fumes. So I did say I was going to pick up the camera when it came to me getting the extension cord, but I've done a wee slight modification at the moment, and I just wanted to document it. So I've took off my AMS stand that you see here, because as much as it goes low at one side, this side's quite high, and this is where the wire goes to. So I decided, I was looking on Bamboo Handy last night just watching YouTube videos, and I found people that make AMS stands. I done a few measurements of about 6 of them. Some of them were standing up, some of them weren't, but I found one where it was just uploaded, it had like 1 like and maybe 2 saves to playlists, and that was it. And I thought I might as well try it. It was only like 155 grams, so I thought why not? Blue filament that I'm needing to get rid of, so I'll use that. I didn't document me taking the stand off and putting the new one on, but I just want to show you the difference it made. That's the top part obviously, because that's where the wire is, but the last time I showed you it was very tight, and now the wire is very loose. There's no spools on it at the moment, as you can see from the back, but when spools do go on, the only thing I'm kind of worried about is the perspex here kind of sinking down. But I might add supports later on for this, I'm not entirely sure. Right now, I put it on and look how easy this is to move, and the wire's fine, and it's now in a position where these wires aren't causing effect, and it's brilliant. The only complaint I do have is when the filament does come through these bits here, they do catch. But that's okay, because when it comes to the AMS only pulls it up to here, so it's not a problem. I only printed that because I wanted it to not have strain, but this might be going into the bin soon, because I'm wanting to maybe put this back on the wall, because I measured it with spools on it, and the clearance between the cube here and the shelf here is about 5mm. So I'm deciding I want to try that, but in order to do that I need to wait for the extension to come. So the delivery says between 5 and 8 o'clock, and it's currently now 1:30 almost, so I just need to wait. Only complaint I do have about this printer with the cube is if I go to controls and go to here, as soon as I raise this up, this is the only complaint I've got. It's got little less than a finger, just probably about 10mm of space, which is alright, but it sort of maybe puts a bit of pressure. And that's the only complaint I've got, because I do want to still use this printer in the max possible way, but it's not very often that I need to print at max height. I might need to buy longer PTFE tubes, but I can find them somewhere easily, it's not a problem. But what I'll do is I'll pick the camera back up when I get the extension cord, and then from there we can keep going. Okay, so camera's fully charged. I'm speaking a bit quietly because it's 11:30 at night. About an hour ago my parcel got delivered, which is the extension cord. I'm going to put the extension cord into the printer and I'm going to try it with the AMS, but I'm going to try and put the AMS back up to the original position on the wall. I'm going to put the tripod on and try and get a good angle for you. So this is as close as I can get where it's still the best kind of angle possible, because every other angle just looks bad. But I might need to crop it in on the editing software just to show you, but I'm going to just take this AMS off, put the extension cord in it, and from there we'll see how it goes. I have a feeling this will be a good size, but we'll find out. And now we've got plenty of room to move this. That's on the underside of my shelf, and there's barely just 4 fingers of space there. So what I might do is, I had these that connected with the original black socket thing that I've got here. That was in PETG, so I'm thinking, do I move it up a bit? Just put these on and then just ram this AMS onto these hinges and just see what happens. I'm going to put this bracket here up to where it originally was before I bought the cube, and when I first got the AMS it was in a certain spot, so I might move it now, unscrew it, put it up a bit, screw it back in, and that's it off. Now just tightened them to the point where it's not tightening anymore. I don't want to go too much because it's normal screws and drywall, but we'll just worry about that later. And then from there we'll put these brackets in. So what you're meant to do is screw these onto the AMS and then slot it in, but because of the space I have, I definitely know I don't have that space, because I need to have this bracket in, which is like that, and then this much space on either side to slot it in, and I definitely don't. So I'm thinking, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it like that now, and then I'm going to put everything together. So I will need to 3D print myself things to sit in that so that it looks brighter. It looks a bit hideous just now, but I will work on a way to get them looking nicer at the moment. But for now, I've got them on. The big test now though is seeing if the filaments fit, and I'm praying they do. Literally a finger, and not even a finger. I'm saying that the bottom one there is probably, yeah, I can't even get my screwdriver under it, so that will be alright for the time being. Now I know you get different sizes of spools because you've got this one here, and you've also got this one that's got a larger diameter than this. I am trying to do this primarily for using the Sunlow spools because that's what I use. But I wait all day to do this, so I might need to pick this up in the morning. There's the screws for the AMS thing, but obviously with me pushing that in, it's snapping in place. It was a pain in the backside to get it off. There's the screws for putting the AMS, but you've seen that I was pushing with all my weight, so as soon as it snaps in, you're not getting it out, and obviously if I try to lift it up, there's no room, so that's how I had to snap it in. But I might need to make myself another version but in PETG so that way it sticks and stays, because it's not going anywhere. I'm just worried about the screws because it's got the smallest bit of wiggle and I don't want that to break. There's a lot of dirt here. That's because through the week when I was printing a big print, this actually fell off, and it fell off and broke these, so I've had to replace more then, and I've had to opt for these different ones because other ones didn't work. But this fell off the wall. A lot of work with putting new lines up and everything, so yeah, it did fall, and then I had to revert back to the blue holder there, and then I eventually drilled into my wall and got it on again. So as you can see, that's shaky because I've not got the screws in the mount. I was just kind of fiddling around with a bunch of things with this cube, and I've sort of kind of thought of an idea. The more I just keep wanting to print stuff with it, the more I keep realising this cube is not good when it comes to obviously multicolour printing and AMS. Obviously the cube you can't, because obviously the AMS goes in, it purges poop, there's nowhere to put it, but I did put a hole in here that had this blue bit here when I didn't have this cube. I've always had this. Now I just snapped this 2 seconds ago so I can kind of try it myself and see if I want to print it again. When I have my printer here, I put a hole down there, which then put a chute thing below that to this bit here so that I can collect. So this is obviously stuff I use on a daily basis, and then I've got this bit here that collects the poop if I need to. Since I've got the hole here, I have made this out of PETG, which is a bit of a chute. So when I press this on here, it comes down, but obviously because of the cube and when I move this plate, as soon as I close the door, there is about literally just under an inch of room, which is fine for that way. This chute here, I used that for a while as a wee kind of test, but I thought I might as well put it on. But obviously you need the chute to be this hole with this cube. The hole is more this way, whereas the printer's more that way. If I was able to put that there, if I to put this down, just like so, at the very lowest point, the chute just reaches. And I've got this part here which connects, but I snapped off because I glued it. And if I put this under, it just fits with just a bit of encouragement. Now obviously there's slots on this bit that slot into this bit, but obviously I've snapped off because it was glued. But if I put this on, then the chute will be there, and this will drop into here. And I'm thinking that's a better idea. So what I've done is, so it comes in like 8 plates, but I've put all the main parts onto one plate. I might just spend 3 hours printing this, and in that way I can test that tonight. So it's been about a day. I obviously took the plates off and I've got 2 here, but I just kind of wanted to document this, just obviously to show what I'm doing. I've got the screw here that was also being printed, but what I've done is the hole that I made for putting the blue one through is just perfect enough for me to put the 2 things together. So what I've done is I went under the desk, or under here, and put the bit that's got the screw that goes into it, and then it joins by like these wee notches here, and on the other side they've got wee indents to put them in. So I've just filled it all the way with super glue, and I've just put it on top. So I might need to zoom in on the camera, but you can just see halfway up there's just a wee line, and that is where the super glue is. So it's just staying tight enough where it doesn't move, so I can let it set. But as soon as that sets, obviously there's a wee space at the back part, so as soon as that sets properly, which I'm going to leave it all day today, then I can push it down and then use this screw to put on just the end part there, and I can then tighten it up, and then I will try to glue this part. But I don't know, because it seems to just come out enough, and having this part attached means that it doesn't have much room here, so I might just leave it, and that way it's still kind of doing its job. So I kind of printed this probably for no reason, but for 136 grams it's not bad. So I've just came back from a night out, 10 past 2 in the morning. I've just got a notification there, don't know if you can see it. Printer paused due to an error at 10 past 2 in the morning and 4 past 2 in the morning. I have just managed to fix it, and that's it just going now. This is one of the downsides that I don't show. With the pipes going from there up and bending because of the space between the top and the bottom here, I think that is causing a big problem. That is one of like 4 times that's done that this week. I was trying to make a drawer for this black thing here, hence why I've got here. So that's a replacement, and I was going to try and make the outer part for it, but it kept failing, and it kept saying that I was struggling to extrude the black, which the black is there, and it's went in fine. Because obviously, as you can see, it's on the left side. But I just started a print again, which is the Avengers thing, which turns into like the characters and the word at the same time. It was a 2.5 hour print. It says it's got 50 minutes, and it's just failed there on the green. So what I've had to do is take the cover off, take the nozzle out, pull the rest of the filament out, and just let it extrude again, and it's working again. But that's been a few times this week, and it's currently Thursday. I've been printing non-stop since Monday, and it's been about 4 or 5 times that's happened. Don't know if it's because of the space in between this, between now and the weekend, or from now Thursday night until Monday. If it happens again, I'm going to go take this cube off and see if it works still. And if it does work, then I might just get rid of this cube. Right now I've had more problems with this printer with this cube on than I have without. I'll pick it up in the morning when it's done, and I'm going to try and do the outer layer of the drawer part, which is on the side that you can see, and then from there I'll update you. So last night I did say that my printer was having problems with extruding the black filament, which is on my slot 3, and the whole time it didn't work, and I tried everything I could to make it work, and nothing happened. So I decided to switch to my green so that I can make this. It's stupid, but it's the Avengers logo, but then when you turn it upside down it's like the people. I've done that no problem, and then as soon as it got to the last hour it failed. But it said it was failing to extrude, but then as I tried to extrude it one more time just on the app by pressing resume, it worked perfectly. So it's been about 3 weeks since I've actually recorded again, and that is because I have been actually kind of struggling with this. So long story short, most prints I had done were failing, and I like to print stuff that take a long time. I done prints that were 10 hours long, 20 hours long, 24 hours long, perfect. With this cube, I'm sure I came home drunk one night and I had the camera on me and I was videoing to show that when the printer goes to the top level with this enclosure, it's bending the PTFE tubes, which is causing my filament to break. Probably the last week or two, every print that I've had done has failed because of that problem. Because the printer, when it finishes, likes to go up to the highest level, and then that's it. When the print's finished, that's it. But when it does that, it's snapping. So when the printer's trying to extrude the rest of the filament, it's saying that it can't extrude anything because the filament's snapped, but it's still lodged in the PTFE tubes, to the point where it's just coming up saying it's faulty. I would say in a week I probably had about 100 messages on that printer saying that every print, the extruder couldn't work, or it couldn't properly extrude the filament. Could be due to a clogged nozzle or failed this or that, and I was getting a bit pissed off, excuse my language. So I decided to take the cube off for a while. Thursday, this is currently Saturday, I took the cube off and I just used it without, which behind me you'll kind of see the new update that I have done, but I'm teasing it for a minute. So I took the cube off, put it back to normal as if I didn't have the cube, and done about 40 prints in them 2 days, and each print worked fabulous. Hence I've made wee small grenades which actually take more than 2 colours. I've printed Call of Duty, Speed Cola and Juggernauts, and I'm going to make the next one soon. I've created Minecraft cubes, which this was a hard one to do. And if you follow my Instagram, I actually made a working tourbillon. Just like that. Obviously I realised, okay, I might get rid of the cube. So as of tomorrow will be the 31 days I've had this cube for. And practically every print that I've done, I've just not enjoyed it. It's actually causing a nuisance more than anything else, until today. So this kind of beats the whole purpose of it being an inbuilt enclosure, but hear me out. So I've got everything going, and I've even got the PTFE tube hub, not for purpose, but I cut out a wee bit of a hole. It's working for now to test it, but as soon as this, because it only moves left and right, as soon as it goes up to here, it's fine. It has about that much of space, but to be honest, it's an enclosure, I get it. But if I can have this cool enclosure with the LED bar, because I've still got, I had to put my light up there because I didn't have this cube on and I didn't have the light here, I had nothing, I just had the printer again, I had to revert back to this. But because I moved the AMS up to fit this, that light had to go there and there only, but that still works, like, that still works. And I put that on, but then the LED bar in here is still so good, and for the money it was so hard to not want to take it back because it's such a good idea. Just sort of a small wee flaw. I've cut a wee hole in it, which, okay, because it's enclosure, air will come up and fumes and all that, but if I wait until a wee while and I get the extruder fan, I'm going to put all the wires that you see at the back just there that come out the side, I'm going to drill a wee hole into my shelf like what I've done with this, and I'm going to put them down, and then the extractor fan can go on there. But I've got my heater on because I had PATG, but I'm using it, so that's still on, that's why it's nothing in it. But because with a cube I cannot use this anymore, I've got an idea. If I'm able to move this over that way, just another 10mm, this will fit. All I'll need to do is make another wee hole to the next of it, and that way I've got a perfect purge system. So that's what I'm going to do, but I've not picked up the camera in a while, but I did want to update you because I feel like I've just abandoned my camera and just kind of left it all. But that is the newest mod that I've done. So I cut a wee hole in it, I put tape on it just so it wouldn't obviously scratch the PTFE tubes, but I put one clip there and one clip down there, that's it, and so far it's fine. And I made a new one of them, by the way, so they're now grey and gold instead of being like the normal white and black, because the AMS now is the right way around. But I think I'm going to be doing something with this soon, because I want to get rid of that, because in another few months there might be just, you know, another device down there, that's all I'm saying. But yes, so far so good, but I am going to need to make another hole just slightly to the right, which I'm fine with, and it's all okay. I am going to do another few prints. I've got one print that I want to do, which is like a 12-hour print, but now that I've got the enclosure, because realistically you don't want your printer to be out in the open if you're in the room. A lot of people say it's better to have the printer not in the same room as you if it's printing, because obviously it's burning plastic and fumes are going everywhere, and like, it'll not matter now, but in like 40 year time when you get this and get that type of disease, you'll understand why you got it faster. And it's like, no, I like the cube because everything's in one place, the fumes aren't going everywhere, my dog can be in the room and everything, and it's not like there's burning plastic everywhere. I've only done it enough so that it's got space. So if the printer, because there's been times where I've printed a big project and the printer has moved on its own by an accident, just because it's vibrating, and there's times where the printer's actually shifted a wee bit out of place. So I've made it just enough so if it does shift, I'm able to fix it. I have took this spool off. That used to be there. I knew I kind of wasn't wanting to get rid of this cube. I knew I wouldn't be taking it back, I would just adjust to it. So as much as I messed up with this bit, obviously you see these two holes right there? They're meant to be over here, and this wee square is meant to be over there. So I messed up the position of this, like I've said before. So I measured them and put them there, which allowed me to put this on for me to have an external spool. But when it comes to 3D printing, everyone knows if there's a problem, you can make a solution. So I did, and it's up here. So I took this, well, made this, and then I could put that on here, and then that, don't need one of these anymore, because I have made something that goes with the PTFE tube here, which is this white thing, on this red thing, on the IKEA board like that. So when the spool goes on there, the filament can go into this. So I'm using the normal PTFE tubes that came with the printer, which is fine. So instead of them reaching into that slot thing over there, and then they coming up and around, it's just fully flat now, back to where it used to be, where I had never ever had a problem. So in my 6 months before I bought this cube, I had one fail. Whereas as soon as I've had this cube, I've had about 11 to 12 fails, and that is within the 30 days, and if you divide it up, it's quite a lot. But I think tomorrow might be the day that I end this kind of video, because I bought the cube, tested it, made a solution to something, and it works. But this solution is only due to what I have going on in my space that I have, because minus my drawers, I have got from this box upward and to here for printing. So that's my own space that I've got in my room, and I do not want to make any more space. I want to keep the space that I've got and just keep how I'm going. If I was to get a new printer, all I'm saying is they'll be going. That's all I'm saying. I just need to test this part, because this hole here, like, you can put your hand in that fine, but it's enough space so I can put the PTFE holder thing so it doesn't break, because that's expensive, and that way it's fine. But when this print actually finishes, which is 2 minutes, my camera is on red and it's flashing, so I don't know how long I've got. So I might just cut it here. So now that that print is off and it is fully taken off all the supports, I am going to show you what I mean now by height of this compared to what it was before. So obviously you've seen in the video where it is and where I wasn't happy with it, and this is it now. My camera's back to flashing red again. So if I put this to the very left where it normally goes, and I put up, I'll keep it max height and I'll not even look at it, because I know that's fine. But now that I've got this hub on, I will show you. That's where it stops. And to give you a bit of an idea, it's less than a fingerprint of a gap. Don't know how to show you this in the best way possible because of the size of the camera. So you see the hub is just where my finger is, and here is just where the thing is. So you can see right there, that's the amount of space I've got, which is perfect. I can now print at max height, not a problem, and this doesn't even involve it. So I thought I wouldn't have any time left, but it's Friday currently. It is 11 o'clock in the morning, and I do realise I have all weekend to edit this video, which is what I'm going to do, but I just want to let you see. Printer is there, cube is down here, all this is out because I finally got myself a 60mm drill saw hole thing, and I made another hole right here. So this bit fits in just fine. I'm not want to push it all the way in because I'm going to glue it, and then that goes onto this. I can have my colour purging system in place, and it's just over a bit now so that the cube fits in it fine. I've measured twice to cut once, and that's all done. So I will then get the hoover, clean all this up, clean it all in here, and then that way as soon as the cube goes back in and then the printer goes back in, I will then put that in, and then I'll video that. But I'm only going to video the main parts just because it makes it easier. So in the next clip you'll see it'll be all cleaned up, cube, and the printer will be back in, and then hopefully I can put it on. So now I have got it all cleaned up, free of mess from there and both inside. So now all I need to do is put the cube back on here, take all the tools away, put the printer back on, and then from there we'll do the test fit. Okay, so turns out that when I wanted to put the cube down to drill into it, it snapped. Basically snapped into it too fast, and it basically cracked the whole lot. This part snapped off, this part snapped off, and then there's another wee triangle bit that snapped off, but I managed to put that in place and I've kind of cleaned it up a bit. So here's the final results. So right now, this is in perfectly. So now, when I take this off, that black bit's in there. This fits on fine with just enough clearance for here and the printer. But I have cleaned this up a lot, so it's a lot more than what I used to be, but I'm just going to show you this. So with having this on here, I wasn't able to get the printer aligned properly because I done this slit with it not being for that. But now, that is just on the edge there, which is fine. Don't worry about that, I'll clean that up later on. But now, I wasn't able to use the filament cutter because it was too far forward, so it only got to about here, which is where this wee crack is, and that is where it ended, here. So I opened this wee bit up, and now the filament's able to cut perfectly fine, leaving enough space, and there's probably about a finger plus of a gap here. So I can now have this here, which catches this every time, and I made it enough room so that even if I want to move the printer more to the right side, it's still got some space. And now anytime it purges, it'll just drop into here. And I've not done a test print yet, but I'm going to put it to the highest setting, do a purge just to see what it's like, and then from there we'll get going. So I've now got my yellow in, so I'm going to put this up to the highest setting possible, and then I'm going to load that, so then I'll do a purge and we'll see how it goes. Perfect, every time. And now, while it's doing this, I'm going to unload it quickly while it's still on the same heat, and that way I want to test this as well. So as you can see, right where this crack here is, that's where it ended here. So I've opened this wee square. Be going around making sure all of them are right. This is the only thing I hate about this AMS, the fact that to unload it, it tests every one of them and pulls every one of them back and then goes to the right one. So now it might be doing yellow, so it's purging a wee bit. Let's see if it works again. Every time. And then now it's got enough space to do the cut and goes back around. But yes, as you can see, beautiful purges without me needing to do anything. I'm going to be doing a print that takes 9 hours and about 1,000 colour changes. So now I can rely on this to collect everything. And then every time it goes into there and goes into that green box over there, which is meant to be under this for now, I will then put it all into this part here. And I'm going to use that to make some pictures. So yeah, that 9-hour print that I said I was going to do did actually take up 10.5 hours, but it actually worked perfectly. I put it on and then left, and I came back 12 hours later, Stormtrooper with a beach floaty, and I have got a time lapse of it because I've done a recording, so you'll see that now, but I'll just quickly speed it up so that you can see it and it's out of the way. Worked perfectly, and that was yesterday. Whereas today I have done about 7 prints and every one of them went flawlessly. My opinions on the A1 Mini Enclosure is, if you are tight on space like myself, buy the A1 Mini Enclosure, but do keep in mind the PTFE tubes will bend and it will break your filament and you'll run into a lot of problems like me. But if you've got the space, buy the A1 Enclosure. It's a bit bigger, but because I wasn't able to close my wardrobe door, I didn't get it. If you are being smart, and what I wish I did was, instead of buying the A1 Mini at £160 and the A1 Mini Enclosure at £110, just save up an extra wee bit and buy yourself a printer that's already enclosed, aka the X1 Carbon or the P1S or the P1P, and just get the enclosure kits with it. Right now I probably would have done that if I didn't know what was going to happen up to now, but yes, it's worth it because I wake up now not smelling any fumes, doesn't smell weird now, and as soon as you open the doors you literally smell the burning plastic and all the fumes, so yes, it's worth it. If I was to give it a rating out of 10, I would say the Enclosure's about a 7, 6 or 7. Buy another A1 Mini, I wouldn't buy the Enclosure again. I would just save up and buy an enclosed printer. But yeah, that is my thoughts. Hopefully you'll enjoy. This video has been a good 2 months in the making, and I'm sorry I missed my upload date last month, but I'm hoping it was worth it because I put a lot of time into this video. So yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy, and I will see you in next month's video, which has got a wee surprise in it. So until then, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.